Hi viewers, how are you today? Welcome to Faith Biko TV, and today I have a special guest with me. Her name is Njeri Kihanga, and she is an award-winning journalist, a TEDx speaker, and the founder and president of Mentor Me Project, which she has done for 7 years. So today you're in for a treat, and we are just about to learn from her. How can you start a business? Whether you're employed or not employed, how do we go about it? Hi, Njeri.
Hi, how are you?
Very well. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
I'm glad to have you.
Thanks.
Tell me, I'm working, my resources are not enough. I want to start a business. How do I balance job and starting a business?
Wow, I think the first and initial thing is to find out what you're passionate about.
Okay.
Because it's one thing to just start a business because everyone is doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Then we end up with a quail situation.
That's right.
Everyone is doing the same thing. Mm-hmm. We all end up importing clothes from Italy, and we have a lot of Italian skirts that no one is wearing.
That's right.
So ask yourself what you're passionate about.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, just take time to speak to those close around you, to be honest with you.
Yes.
About your strengths. And then, of course, identify a mentor who's already in that business so that you can learn from them.
Maybe we are talking to women who are also saying, oh, but I'm employed, I don't have time. How can they create time out of their 8 to 5 schedules to start a business that will then increase their sources of income?
Okay, let me answer that by telling my own story.
Yes.
In the sense that I used to work in an organization that gave me a lot of money.
Yes.
And I was very young, and I thought, this is the time of my life. This is the peak of my life. I'm earning a lot of money. I have good free time, so I could get into something.
That's right.
But I thought, because I'm really passionate about it, I should really just focus on it 100%.
Mm-hmm.
So I left this well-paying job to put all my energy in the business on this thing that I'm really passionate about.
Mm-hmm.
And what that meant is I hadn't thought through that this business previously was supported by the income I was getting from my employment. So in terms of getting products, my salary was getting this product.
That's right. So they were complementing each other.
Yes. So, and I tell this to my students all the time because I do have a mentorship program. I say business is great, having a side hustle is great, but don't be quick to leave your job. Okay. So also because you're exposed to networks, you're exposed to other things that really could be implemented, or rather you could transfer this knowledge and these skills and these networks to your business.
That's right.
So if you want to get into business, I highly suggest that you do it as a side hustle first.
Okay.
Let it grow its own legs, and by its own legs I mean let it finance itself before you can fully jump into that boat.
Great. That is very important, and something that we also need to think about. Do we have the emotional capacity to handle business and employment? And we are talking to someone today who is listening to us, and they're saying, I do not have employment. I would like to start a business. I cannot get a loan as capital from the bank. What do you advise such a lady or such a man? Where do they start from?
Okay, so the number one misconception about starting business, and I know this about myself and the many people that I interact with, is that we always feel like we have to have money to start a business.
True.
The word capital in its original form actually means idea.
Okay, idea.
So the most important thing, the most critical thing about starting a business or starting any project is to have an idea, a solid idea. So before we even talk about the money, let's solidify this idea. Is there a need based on the research? How big a deal is this gonna be? Then the next thing is to build a team.
Okay.
Yeah. A team that will be with you whether there's money or not. So start to think about whether it's a team of advisors you want to begin with for a start, or you want to have a team that is a sounding board. You test your ideas with them and see whether they are viable. That would be a good place to start. You should also have a good strategy. So with a good idea, it's possible to get money out of people's pockets.
Okay.
Yeah, so
I think this is where you need to listen to. How do you get money
out of people's pockets? So let me tell you this. Maybe 3, 4, 5 years ago, I had a student whose parents went to the States and they were not doing so well, so she was stranded and she was living with her aunties and they weren't treating her well. So she started thinking, I need to make my own money because I feel like I'm boxed in and I can only do what my auntie says I should do. So she's really good at making chapos. So I said, you know what? We always invite you to make chapos for us.
That's right.
Why don't you start charging us for this chapos? So whether it's 20 bob or 30 bob, and you'll have that extra maybe 200, 500 bob a week.
That's right.
That you can use for something else. So when you start thinking of business, some of us are thinking, set up a boutique and all these awesome things.
That's right.
That's great, but what small step can you make towards that? So if you start making chapos today, I'm making 500 bob, and still at the back of your mind you're convinced you should start a hair salon, that's okay.
Yes.
Like, that's still a dream that you want to pursue, but what can you start now that can build your capacity, your financial capacity to Also, another way to look at it, if you're really talented in this area that you want to get into, so maybe let me use the example about getting into a hair business. Maybe you could be a consultant to begin with. So for instance, there's a salon that you go to and you feel like you understand hair better than they do. Why don't you step in and come in part-time and say, you know what, I can do consultations. So if you're in communication, rather than setting up your own branding company, can you start consulting and saying, you know what, I have really good skills in creating up with communication strategies. I will do it for you at this cost. So the end goal is to start your own business, your own outfit, and compete with Ogilvy and whoever else.
Yes.
But you're starting small. Also, what you're doing is that you're building your portfolio, you're building your muscle, you're building your emotional capacity, you're building your exposure. So by the time you're opening these doors to your huge agency, guess what? You've learned along the way.
Yes, you have.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching this broadcast, and that was Njeri Kihanga. Amazing, resourceful, informative, and mentor. My goodness. These are the takeaway points that I'd like you to note. Number one, when you're thinking about the business, don't think about capital as money. Think about it as an idea. Is it viable? Is it needed? Is it going to solve an ongoing problem? Number four, what will stop the people who have been purchasing that solution from shop A to come to your shop? So you need to start coming up with those strategies to win those clients to your shop. Number two, create a team. Remember, it is teamwork that makes the dream work. So you need a team around you, and you might not have money to pay them, but look for people who believe in your idea and volunteers that can grow with you. Finally, you will get there, but begin small as you build towards where you want to go to. So thank you so much, Njeri, for coming. Guess what? We are better people, and we are going to start our businesses. So thank you so much for watching Faith Biko TV, and don't change that dial. We will be right back with Njeri again to talk about how do you go for an interview, how do you get ready, how do you showcase yourself, and how do you get the job. Thank you.